Hey everyone, welcome back to another tutorial. We're going to be making a couple of videos on how to do data transfer and backup and troubleshooting on iOS devices, given I have a lot of experience with them. So let's just get started with this one. This one we're going to do a data transfer from one iPhone to another. This is just going to be straight across. So, as you can see, the iPhones have already detected that they're next to each other, that there's an iPhone that can set this one up. And so, we're just going to go ahead and hit continue on that one. And over there, it's going to recognize this process is happening. And if you have an Apple Watch, you're going to recognize this process. You just simply get that on the camera over here, the one we're setting up from. And so we've set up just all zeros for the passcode on that iPhone. So you just tap in the passcode of whatever iPhone you're transferring from, and it's just going to send the information over, and it's going to know automatically how to set this one up to be identical to this one. So we just give it a little bit, and it's going to activate the iPhone and move the data over. And so I'm just going to pause the video until it finishes this process, and then we're going to walk through the rest. Okay, as you can see, it's on the Touch ID screen now. So let's just continue on with that. And you don't have to set up Touch ID, but if you want to, it's a real simple process. You just tap your finger, whichever finger you're going to use for Touch ID. I use my thumb just because it's convenient. And so you tap it a few times, and you want to adjust a little bit between taps, just so it gets a better idea of what your entire thumbprint looks like. Because not every time that you touch it are you going to touch it in the same position. So, and then we're going to continue again, and you want to adjust your grip a little bit differently. So adjust it to another way that it's going to be comfortable. And I find that I'm usually tapping with the side of my thumb when it's not straight on. So now it has a good idea of what my thumbprint looks like, and it's going to continue on. And let's see, we'll just pause the video to wait for this process to finish. Okay, it's finished that part, and now it wants you to decide whether or not to restore your apps and data. So we're just going to continue. The whole point of this process is to have the information from one iPhone on the new one. So we're just going to agree to the terms and conditions. Any software that you use, you're going to have to agree to the terms and conditions. So continue, restore settings from backup. And we'll set up the Apple Pay later in the wallet. This, you're going to have a credit card to put in there, either credit or some sort of checking card that has the Visa or MasterCard logo on there. So we'll set that up later in the wallet. Really don't want to show that information. So yeah, we want to set up Siri, unless you don't. And now it's just asking you to say, "Hey Siri," a few times. "Hey Siri." And if you can say it naturally, you go, "Hey Siri." "Hey Siri." Okay. "Hey Siri, it's me." Alright, so that's ready. And so now when you ask, "Hey Siri," it's going to respond to your voice. And I like to share this with app developers. It helps them optimize their apps for a better user experience. And that you can tap to make it go away. Doesn't really matter now. Alright, and so now it's just going to restore my data from iCloud. And it's going to take a little while, so we're just going to pause until that completes. So we'll see you soon. Okay, the process is finished now, and it's just rebooting to apply the updated information. And so as you can see on this phone, the apps still aren't installed fully from me restoring this one from backup. And so that's not going to be a problem because you're not literally moving information from this to this. You're basically giving information from this to tell this one what account to download all the information from, if that makes sense. So here we're just going to go and type in our passcode again. And it's going to continue to update. And notice that we didn't go through a process of having to connect this one to Wi-Fi. Neither of these is connected to any cellular service right now. So this one did give this one the information on what Wi-Fi network to connect to and what password to use. It also told it what Apple ID to set up from. But notice I did have to put the password in this one for the Apple ID. And so just small things like that, it makes it a lot easier to set up. Generally what you're doing is you're downloading the backup from iCloud on this. And so this one is just telling it what to connect to and what account that you're getting a backup from. And it's also telling it what network to go over. So it appears to almost be ready, and I have an alarm that's going off. Okay, we'll just choose allow there. All right, and when you first start up, you notice all the applications are kind of dimmed out. That means they're waiting to download. And here in the settings app, it's requesting more information for setup. So it still wants me to set up Apple Pay, still wants me to tell it a little bit more information. And so if you want to do that, if you want to set that up, now would be a good time. It's just going to bring up the dialog to enter in your information. And you'll also have the option of canceling that. And it looks like it's giving me a little bit of a glitch as well. So let's see, let's open the settings back up again. If you ever run into a problem with that, or an application is not responding, you just double tap the home button and swipe up, and then just open the application again, and that kind of restarts the application, kind of clears out the memory and whatever's locking it up. And right now it looks like it just does not want to respond to that. There we go. Interesting. So this could be the result of it still downloading information. You see that option is gone now. So that may have actually transferred over. But the application is locking up, so we're just going to close everything out. Okay, here we go. So it wants me to update my Apple ID settings. And I don't know, maybe Apple might have some more work to do on this. This feature is brand new to iOS 11. So if you do have problems with it, just give it a little time. Apple will release an update that'll fix it. And that's the problem right there. It's not connected to Wi-Fi again. So we're just gonna go ahead and see if we can get that working. Interesting. Close that out, turn Wi-Fi off and then back on again. And in iOS 11, turning these off for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth aren't actually turning off the transmitters. they're just severing connections that you have going. So the Wi-Fi will still be on and the Bluetooth will still be on. It just won't be connected to anything. And so here we go. Now we have it connected to Wi-Fi, but you notice it's still not showing up in the bar. This is actually interesting and new because I did not have this problem before I reset this phone. So it could have something to do with this transfer. I'll let you be the judge of that. So let's close this out again. And it still doesn't want to connect. Okay, after a bit of troubleshooting, I got this working. I had to connect to a different Wi-Fi network. For some reason, it just didn't want to work on that one. So if you're at home and you only have one network, you would just hit this little I here and tell it to forget the network, and then kind of close it out the same way I showed you using multitasking, and go through again. Now, given this, during these early stages, I wouldn't recommend doing this type of transfer for a beginner or a newer iPhone user. I kind of have the patience and experience to troubleshoot it and figure it out. But if you're just wanting to get your information transferred, maybe follow another video to restore your backup another way. That is at least within the first month of iOS 11's release, just to give Apple some time to work out the bugs. But see, now it's just going to give me the alert saying that I'm using the Apple ID on another iPhone. Nothing new to see there. So everything is going to be where I want it to be now. For example, if I go into FaceTime, I'm going to be logged in here. It's going to show me my information here. Naturally, I'm going to have this blurred out for you. Don't want to be giving my contact information out there. But there you have it. It's fully set up. You just need to give it some time on Wi-Fi in order to download all of these apps. Now, you're still going to have to enter your passwords for various apps. Not all developers have set it up to save that in the keychain. So no big deal. Just go through and set that up before you wipe the old one. And so we're going to do some troubleshooting videos, maybe a couple, maybe more. And we'll do a couple of videos on setting it up using iTunes on Mac and iTunes on Windows. It's almost identical, but don't forget to like the video if it helped you out. Subscribe to the channel if you find our videos helpful. And we'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.